maybe I'm just naive. Because I was just like, how can you like fork for all of these tissues and actual laminated pieces? It was literally like, I have no home.
And then they put it on. If you don't want to take it, they put it on the seat, and then
and then she went like through like one carriage, went through the whole of it, and then came back to collect money. I don't know. Maybe I'm just clearly not a Londoner.
Yes, you'll see a lot of that. Even like even on the street, people like I remember I was at the cash point, and the man brazenly asked me for £10. I was like,
they have no
£10 is hard to come by, you know. It's not
living crisis.
Like, what the hell? Not even £1 or £2.50, 10 whole pounds, and they make sure they sit beside
what did you say?
I said £10 is hard to come by. I don't have it, honestly. And that £10, the £10 that I was withdrawing, I was using to get a shape up. I wasn't withdrawing anymore.
Your needs come before anyone else's.
Sorry, but I do when I can. When I'm feeling generous.
Yeah, but like you say that though, but then like you can't give £10 to everybody.
Yes.
Because then what if his mate sees you giving out £10?
I know.
Then it's him, then his auntie, then his uncle.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. One time I was in Liverpool Street, and one auntie, like, I literally tapped through, and she stopped me and was like, "Hi, please, I'm desperate. Do you have any money that you could give me?" She didn't appear to look distressed or anything. She just looked like she was just coming from work. "Hi, please, can you give me..."
She knew who you were?
I don't know. No, this was before. Okay. This was before all that, and she was like, "Can I have £10?" I was working in Tesco at the time. She was like, "Can I have £10?" And I was like, "Babe, I've already tapped through. Like, I can't." Like, what do you mean? Because she gave me a story. I can't remember what her reasoning was, but she asked me, and I said, "Babe, I've already tapped through." She's like, "Please, just tap back out." I was like, in my head, I was just thinking,
God forbid.
Later, tap back out. And what did I do? I tapped back out, went to the cash point, gave her the £10, and just went on my way. I just thought,
that's what you get for being nice, babe.
Yeah, but
God takes advantage of those people. Are you religious?
I wouldn't say I'm religious, but I'm on a journey. I pray.
Are you spiritual?
No, I wouldn't say I'm spiritual, but I do believe in God. But my religious journey is like very personal. Like, I don't really want to kind of even entertain any other opinion other than my own, because I feel like, my relationship with God is what matters, and what's kept me on this journey, like where I'm going. So yeah.
Fair enough. How did you find the event? Do you know what, right? Because in my head, because I didn't know you were going to be there, but I saw Dami's video earlier in the week about, I don't know what you were talking about. I think it was like Black Pride, being queer on Black or something on TikTok. Yeah. So presumably I thought, okay, Danny will be there. And maybe this is me being new to the space. I'm a bit like unknowledgeable. So I just assumed you'd be there together. And then, okay, obviously that's not always how it works.
I would have gone, but I didn't know that he was going. So it's only like maybe like a few days before he had mentioned it. And I was like, oh, I'll come. But if I was to go by myself, I wouldn't have gone.
Is it normal, right? Because again, being fresh, is it normal for these invites to come like really last minute?
Yes, always.
Because
this came a while ago, but
okay, maybe not for me.
Some events or some things that are going on in London are very like, you decide last minute that you're going, or you hear that everybody's going, and then you would want to go.
Because I got invited to this really cool thing by this filmmaker, and he sent me this thing. It was, come to my book thing, please. But it was literally like 2 days before. But then obviously, when people don't see it like that. Yeah. Like, if you don't go, you haven't gone. So like, you just didn't want to attend. No one looks into it like that. It's just like he doesn't want to rock up.
Yeah,
you know.
Some things are super last minute, but lately people have been quite good with giving me enough time, like a good mum for like 2 months, and I'm like, I could at least put this in my calendar and figure out what I got going on.
And you don't really have an excuse if you get invited that far in advance, you know. But no, how did you find the event? That was my question to you.
The mixer or
the mixer?
I like the mixer.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest.
We can always
I do feel like they say that like queer spaces or black queer spaces are meant to be welcoming, but they're not always as welcoming as they describe it to be. And I was apprehensive about going because obviously not a lot of people know me like on a personal level. So obviously from what they see online, they might think I'm unapproachable. They might think I'm problematic, whatever the case may be. So I'm just like, I'd just rather stay at home.
That's really interesting because I don't think that.
You're one.
Because when we spoke last week, because I said to you, because I've only ever seen you on the one podcast, I was like, why'd you not do it? And you said to me, you just don't get invited.
Yeah.
Which I think is because I think you're so interesting and I like your takes. But then like we don't have any mutuals really. Yeah. We have like loose ones, but like not like ones that know you well enough for me to like.
Yeah, I don't have any mutuals in.
Do you know what I mean though?
Like in the content creator scene. I personally wouldn't say I don't. There's nobody in the content creator scene that I would like phone up and be like, are you going here? Are you going here?
Okay.
Because the content creators that I would consider as my friends, we do very different stuff.
Right.
So it's just, we wouldn't have the same mutuals for the different content creator circles that we kind of go in. So yeah, it's a weird one. But the content creators that that have become my friends, i.e. Mason, Maggie, to name a few.
Maggie's cool.
Yeah, they are just like down to earth and just very humble and have similar journeys to me. Where it's just like we're grinding, but we blew up one day. Like it's just how, that's just how
I've learned very quickly in this space that like not everyone's as friendly as they seem online.
Yes, and it's very cliquey. It's very. If you're seen with a certain group or a certain blah blah blah, then you're likely to be in certain spaces or invited. Or
this was my concern because I don't. Again, like yourself, I don't really have. I have one friend who I'd say I'm quite tight within the space, but they know everybody. So when I go to events, I can't really depend on them because I'm not being anyone's lapdog.
Yeah,
you understand. So then I was a bit reluctant going to the event. But then like everyone was like, oh my God, no, because if you go by yourself, you're going to have to talk to people. You're going to have to push yourself out. And I did.
Yeah.
And vast majority of people were really nice. There was one beautiful dark-skinned black man. And like we kept on eyeing, but I don't know if we were eyeing because he saw me looking at him and he thought, what the fuck's wrong with you? Why do you keep staring?
You just got do you know what? You just got to take the leap. Whether it's on a friendly introduction rather than like an intimate you never know what could form out of.
My mentality is if we're meant to be, you will come up and ask for my digits.
That's not the story for everyone, I'm afraid. I
mean, everyone's not me, clearly. But then saying that I am single, so quite clearly it's not working.
You know what? No, I had that mentality too. I have been single for a very, very long time, and I literally took what was given. Like any thing or person that will show me attention, that's what I accepted. I never had any boundaries, any boxes that needed to be ticked. I was just like, yeah, okay, you're showing me attention. Oh, you want to take me out? Okay, like, why not? That was my mentality. But now it's just like, well, I'm in a relationship now, but...
You're locked in now.
Locked all the way in. But yeah. And that journey through just dating and it just fizzling away, it was rubbish because I was accepting like just the bare minimum. And then once, because obviously it takes a while for you to get to know someone. Once you uncover somebody's qualities and their traits and their deepest, darkest secrets, you're just like, what the hell did I get myself into?
So what's your take for me then for dating? Not that I'm presuming you're an expert or anything. I'd
say you need to travel. You need to travel. Come out of the common spaces that you would generally go in, and obviously traveling would also like open your mind.
Are we talking international travel?
International travel, yeah. International travel and like visit different parts of the UK as well, because I used to live in Manchester.
Manchester's lovely.
Yeah, I've lived in Swindon. I've lived in two very different areas, and I've met some cool people, but not people that I would want to be with now. But I'm just saying, I met some. Yeah, it's part of the journey. It's part of finding out who you are as well.
Yeah,
as finding out like different types of people.
How did you find the event on Saturday? So I didn't go, which is a bit, again, not hypocritical, but obviously because I got invited to the mix, I feel like everyone's expected to go. I was meant to be filming, but the guy cancelled in the morning. And like, I don't know about you, but I like to think God forbid. Cancel the day before. I will let you cancel the day before and it's fine. But the day of, no.
Yeah.
But what was my point? But because when I go to like a thing like Pride, I want to be able to like plan what to wear and how to look and all that. And you can't do that because obviously Pride finishes quite early, Black Pride, I believe.
It finished at 8, which I was quite shocked about. I was like, 8?
Yeah.
Not even 10. But I need to find out the reason why, because 8, and that's my first time going, I've never been before.
You have to remember, though, it is all community funded.
Yeah.
I think that's something to do with it.
Yeah.
So I just
But 12, are people really out at 12 o'clock?
Apparently so.
I was on my way to the barbers at 12. I got home at like 2, 3, because, you're always, I'm either late and then have to wait for the person that's in front of me. Then I'm sitting in the chair. And then the barber takes time. Like, it's a whole process. So I was late. I got there like 6.
Was it good?
It was good in the social aspect. So obviously I got to meet like-minded people that watch me, people that admire me. I got to meet people that I admire. Like, I liked it for that aspect. Unfortunately, the performance aspect, the guests, in my opinion,
keep it cute.
Everyone should be black. Everyone on stage should be black. It should be fully black. One of the guests wasn't black. And that's no shade to him, but one of the guests wasn't black. But I just feel like fully black set list. And also, again, no shade to Miss Banks, but I've never seen her as somebody that queer people look up to, admire. I feel like it was just a job.
Lady Lucia would have made more sense. So I
love Lady Lucia. Paigey Cakey. She's such a good example. I'm sorry. She's engaged. If not engaged, she's deep in her relationship. A lot of people know her songs. Loads of people follow her on social media. So yeah, I would have loved to see Paigey Cakey.
So as someone who hasn't been, I feel like I can only comment so much. A lot of people told me, have you been before, Danny? Have you been to Pride before?
Yes. Yeah.
So I've been told that apparently this year was a lot better than last year. That's what I was told from a lot of people. I saw this one thing on Twitter. It was really weird. It was like, why? Because Kalani was in London at the time, right? But let's remember, obviously, UK Black Pride is community-based. Therefore, all of the money is a bit strict. And then I saw this one guy saying, why didn't Kalani headline? I was like, I like Miss Banks. But with respect to Miss Banks, realistically, to be able to afford Kalani is quadruple, probably even more than that, to be fair, the amount.
And you have to remember, announcing that Kalani would be at a free event, it would have likely been over capacity.
100%.
Do you get what I mean? People that were not queer would just want to show up. Just, her fans.
As you would, though.
Do you get what I mean? Yeah.
As you would. But yeah, I feel like I can't comment too much because I've never actually been, but I was told it was a lot better this year than it was last year. Apparently last year was just very unorganised. I don't know if you guys remember at the thing where there was a Q&A with Lady Phil with Benji in the talk. Yeah. And one guy was like, how would you respond to the criticism you received last year? Yeah. And then she goes into anti-mode. It's like, and what is your name? But fair point though, innit? But I haven't.
To be honest, I didn't hear about last year at all. I didn't.
Well, maybe that's
look into
maybe that's part of the problem why you haven't heard about it because it wasn't well received.
Yeah, I feel like there's so many this is no shade, but I'm just going to use the word relevant. There are so many current relevant content creators, DJs, party goers, people that actually do this that could have been a part of it and made it amazing. That's just my opinion. Yeah.
Well, you can just put it in the review for next year, Charles, clearly.
Hopefully I'll be hosting. Who knows?
That would be very catchy.
Lady Phil follows me, so hope I'll speak it into existence. One day I would love to host something like that so that people can see how I am, how I mesh with...
Have you done hosting?
No, but I feel like
You got the personality.
I feel like I could do it. It's not hard. If you put a camera in front of me, I can talk to the camera with no problems. It just comes natural for me. I've been doing YouTube for 4 years. I have learnt how to articulate myself, especially in front of a crowd, knowing that thousands of people are going to be watching me. So yeah.
Listeners, take notes. I am really interested by your story though, because I don't really, maybe my research just hasn't been very like heavy as it should have been. But like, how did you like, what was your like startup? Because was it YouTube or was there anything prior?
So I've always been on Instagram. So from when Instagram started, I've always like posted on Instagram, and my content helped my platform grow quite quickly.
Yeah.
Whilst also knowing that there were millions of other people in different countries that were happy to follow me back. That's what I did when I first started. I'd follow people, like their pictures, they'd follow me back. And within months, I gained like 10,000 followers. And then obviously I started to take a bit more pride in like my appearance. So sometimes I borrow my brother's clothes, or sometimes I could afford to buy my own clothes.
Is this before before
I was out, before YouTube, before everything. And I would take pictures of my outfits like every Sunday, post at 7, 8 o'clock. And yeah, and back then getting 100 likes, not many people was doing that back then. And I was like, just so overwhelmed.
How old are you?
I'm 29.
Okay. No, I'm just trying to think of like when we would have been like both young with like social media. But I thought you were the same age as me.
No, how old are you?
24.
Yeah, no, okay. 29. But yeah, and then, as I said, I've been doing YouTube for 4 years. I only began YouTube through the help of an ex-best friend of mine, and that obviously pushed me and catapulted me into a whole new demographic that I wasn't privy to or aware that existed. So my audience was very like American heavy, like American followers, and or Northwest London, because I'm from Northwest London. So it was just that. And then before YouTube, I studied graphic design. I went to Oxford Brookes University.
God forbid.
And then I began doing freelance graphic design. And obviously with the help of me having about 20 to 30k followers at the time, I was able to give
you a bit of a boost.
A boost in like my clientele. I was working with YouTubers, influencers, creating like their banners, intros and logos. And then that was how I actually met my ex-best friend. I was working for her, doing her intro, banners, all that type of stuff. So yeah, and then from there, I think my personality also helped people to stick around, because I feel like what happens is you jump onto somebody's platform and that's like your one moment. It's make or break in that moment.
Yeah,
and then now it's your opportunity to go off and serve yourself. And they stuck around and we're here today.
How did you... I'm really intrigued by this because I love having this conversation with Black people.
Yeah.
Oxford Brookes graduate. Did you do the whole 3 years?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just there's many that haven't.
Yeah. Oh yes.
What was that experience like? I'm really intrigued to know how it went down.
I did graphic design. My class was very small. I was the only Black boy in my class. There was another biracial girl, but not as into her blackness as she would appear, because she was quite dark, but I could just tell that that we had nothing in common when we would talk. It was just, so I just left it there. So it was just me and her, and I had my own personal issues going on. Like I just literally got exposed by my brother. Like he literally went through my phone and exposed my sexuality to my whole family, and then I just went, I'm going to uni. I'm going to uni and I'm moving to the furthest place possible. Because I was actually meant to go to Coventry, but then I chose Oxford Brookes instead.
I feel like you definitely would have had like more choice in Coventry, because Coventry is like not too far from Birmingham.
But I visited, and it was like walking through Woolwich. I'm so sorry. I was like, God,
I don't think Swindon's much better though.
No, but it was chill. Like it was a place for me, and obviously my mum had a bit of an opinion in, because she came with me to my induction, and I was like, "There's no way I'm walking through here."
Maybe I'm just biased in the sense that as someone who lives near Swindon, but
Yeah, there was not many black people, but I can adapt. I'm not really someone that needs to be around black people. Like, my family is black. That's like my friends, my high school friends, all of that. They're black. It's okay. But when it comes to my education or like schooling, for me, it's not that deep.
100%. But I think at the same time, it is quite nice to be able to have people that look like you and have the same stuff in your space. Because for me, okay, like a mixed race boy who went to a very white area for a white uni. I think Oxford Brookes is a great uni. If you're white, if you're straight, and if you're rich.
Wow.
That's the way that I see it. Like, I kid you not, my friends don't believe me when I tell them this. There was actually a period of time where I couldn't go on campus without hearing the word trust fund.
Wow.
I know. I've got actually, and someone who I used to live with, used to be neighbours with Stormzy and Tom Holland. And obviously when you're like, I'm not even like, I wouldn't say I'm like poor, but like not like rich at all, you know? But when you're surrounded by like people that have caviar for fucking breakfast, it's like, I need to tap out.
Wow, trust fund, really?
But then maybe like Oxford Brookes at Oxford, like campus, is different from Oxford Brookes at Swindon campus.
Yes, it's very different.
But yeah, obviously big up Oxford Brookes, but yeah.
So I do remember one moment in uni. So as I said, I was going through a lot, and I don't feel like my lecturers took the time to like get to know me. But that could go for any uni really, but because there's so many students.
There's so many people, you can't connect with everyone.
But he made a comment one day, and he was like to me, and I had dreads at the time. He made a comment one day, like there was a week where like my attendance was really poor, and I came into class and it was really late, and I literally come in, everyone's just on the Macs doing their work. I came in, went straight on the Mac and began doing my work, and he came over and sat next to me, and he was like, "Oh, you're late again. What was you doing smoking the ganja?" That's what he said. I looked at him like, I was like, I just don't know. No, I was just a bit tired. But I was just like, how dare you?
And if you react, you just feed into the narrative.
Right.
So it's like, okay, remain calm. Decorum, where are you? Remain calm.
That I will never forget that. And that was, I think when I went to uni was when I first like experienced like the stereotypes, the prejudice, all that type of stuff. Because
like, in a white area you're going to though, aren't you? It's inevitable.
Because when I went to, because I'm from Northwest, I went to Copeland, which was on Wembley High Road.
Right, cool.
Completely diverse, black, white, Asian, people from every community went to my school. So when I tell people that like I wasn't bullied for my color, people don't believe me. I'm just like, I wasn't. Like, there was a lot of people that looked like me at my school. I can only look at things now and attach it to colorism, but that's not necessarily what every event that I experienced through my childhood years was like. Yeah. But yeah, school was cool. Uni was cool. I got a job in Swindon as well, so
it just gets worse.
It just
like, God forbid you have to be there for 3 years, but then to stay for even you're a better man than
during uni I was I got a part-time job.
I thought you meant I love Swindon. No. I have no choice but to stay here for even longer after graduation. I was like, you're a madman, you need to leave.
No, I got a job part-time, so on the days off I would work, and again I'd experience the stereotype.
Was it in the outlet?
Yes. you sound very posh. People would always say that I'm quite well spoken or I'm posh, and I'm just like, I just talk like every other Londoner. People from London think I don't sound like I'm from London. I'm like, so where do you lot think I'm from? My dad is Caribbean. My dad was born in Jamaica and came here. So maybe some words that I may pronounce might not be the typical British way to pronounce a word.
Probably.
But it's okay for a black person to be well-spoken. My mum's Bayesian descent. So her mum is from, and her dad is from St. Kitts, which a lot of people get onto me for. They're like, oh, I don't hear you talk about your Bayesian side or your St. Kittian side a lot. And I'm like, obviously, I'm half Jamaican. Like that kind of literally, my dad owns a restaurant. I grew up with my father in the home. Like he was a quite prominent figure in my household whilst my mum was British.
Have you been to Jamaica?
100 times. 100 times. So when people ask me like, or when people say to me, oh, like Jamaica don't claim you or things like that, I'm just like,
there was a video I saw of you the other day, someone saying that. I think you responded.
Yeah. So one of the Green Gambian, a friend of mine, asked me what my favorite song was, and obviously I think my Jamaican culture kind of overrides a lot. Like my name is Guh Deh Phillip. It's derived from my Jamaican side, and he asked me what my favorite song was, and I gave him a song. It's called Vibes Cartel, Real Bad Man. And I'm the type of person that when I listen to music, I actually listen to the lyrics. I don't just listen to a song because of the beat or whatever.
Me and you both.
And the song, the lyrics go, I don't take intimidation from a little boy. I don't fear man. Like, and I use that like to kind of motivate myself that like, it doesn't matter whatever space I'm in, I'm as confident and I stand as tall as can be. So that's why I chose that song. And then, the comments, oh, Jamaica don't claim you. If you used to go to Jamaica, this would happen to you. And I'm just like, I went to Jamaica a few years ago. Like, it's really not that deep. I'm not walking around. I know the dangers of Jamaica, but you don't need to understand every country is dangerous. There are people currently in this country murdering babies. Like, please, let's just stop acting like Jamaica's the most dangerous country in the world. It is dangerous, but every country, there's ghetto, there's a bit of ratchet, there's unsafe areas.
To be fair, I think Jamaica is like probably at the higher end in all fairness. So my mum's Jamaican. My mum hasn't been back since she was like 8 years old because she's personally, I don't feel that. So I've never been. It's like on my agenda, but like obviously Jamaica's not like the easiest place to get to.
Yes.
My dad went last year though, and he loved it. My
mum went last year as well.
My dad's the white one because my grandma passed, but they were like really close. So he wanted to like go see her post office, her church, and all of that. And he literally walked around by himself, and he was like, "Mate, like it's cool." St. Catherine's, Manchester, yeah. And he was like, "It's cool." So it's definitely on my agenda to go sooner than later.
Definitely.
But yeah, people are very loud at like cussing you for like embracing your culture. Okay, you may not necessarily be born in Jamaica, but like my Jamaican, because I'm half Jamaican as well, like yourself. But it's still like holds like a big part of me. Do you understand?
Me. And it should. Because then when you don't embrace it,
they cuss you for that as well.
Exactly. So it's just like, you can't win.
Are you going carnival?
I want to. But again, you lot be claiming Jamaica's not safe. Carnival is not safe. Bloody hell.
Some of the stories I've heard about Carnival are actually horrific. Like, what was I saw last year?
And I feel like there's no regulations for Carnival.
No,
like,
there's
literally
not,
because kids, like 13, 14-year-olds are getting wind up by uncles. Like, honestly, it's just...
Well, someone said to me, go to the family day. But then I was actually with my audio.
Family day is now adult day.
That's what the audio man said. That's what the audio
man said. And how do you like tourists know family? They don't know because it's not advertised like that. It's just Carnival Day 1, Carnival Day 2. So it's
I think I might try and do the black events next year. I don't think it's going to happen this year, but maybe next year.
It's just in your own time. There's no rush. It's not going nowhere. This is the second year out of the pandemic. So I feel like way more people are going to go than last year, but last year was like, it was gridlock.
Did you see that video of like the bus stops being pushed over and like hitting people?
Oh my gosh, I saw a video where the guy was on the thing and it fell, no?
Yeah,
it fell on the girl's head. I saw that one. It's just insane.
I just feel like I'm that person. I have that mentality where like nothing shocks me. Like I could know someone for the longest time and they could do the worst thing ever, and I just think, okay, fair enough, whatever. Which is why, like, when I hear all these stories of Carnival, I'm like, do you know what? I can't even respond. I'm just like, yeah, cool, fair, you know.
To be honest, going to Carnival, like, expect the unexpected, because there's some crazy things going on. You lot think that, you have to go abroad to see people acting wild. No, people be doing the most at Carnival, and I feel like it's not even that deep. And I was even shocked that Carnival was even playing Afrobeats.
There's been a real like debate about that. I don't know how I feel personally.
They say Afrobeats, like some Afrobeat songs have like Caribbean influence, but I feel like it's still
but I feel like
quite heavily African.
Very much so. And I think, and like Carnival is about embracing Caribbean culture. So it feels a bit weird. Maybe the Africans will cuss me, apologies. But I don't know, it just feels a bit weird why it's not fully Caribbean personally. Yeah. But then maybe I'm being biased because I'm half Jamaican. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it just like have like a separate African event. Do you know? And that's not even me being rude. But just have like because like if there was like an occasion or an event or a celebration for African culture, like
is there, Dami? Is there an event that celebrates just like Africans and culture? African music? What would it be called?
There's like Nigeria Day or like festival.
Independence.
Does it play Bashment?
No, not that I know. I've not been there.
Okay.
Right. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. But I feel obviously Carnival it's like there's nothing else is going to be like Carnival.
Yeah.
But I do understand that obviously times are changing and music has evolved. Like we don't really hear a lot of Caribbean music nowadays because it's so explicit and so.
And Afrobeats is doing like
Afrobeats
well.
is more like marketed and a bit more diverse. So I get why DJs are more confident to play that kind of music, but babe, let's go back to like 2013, 2014.
What time?
Popcorn, like Vibes Cartel, Conscience, like all these artists have got some tunes, trust me, and you can wheel it up a few times.
I feel like we are just on the bandwagon currently where like Afrobeats is pop, and I love Afrobeats, to be fair. I'm a big Afrobeats fan, which is a bit probably more than Bashment at this current moment in time. I can't lie. But that's because we're exposed to it more.
Yeah.
In all fairness, if we had Bashment like artists that were on the same level, maybe I would love it just as much or more. But
yeah, it's not easy for the Jamaicans.
As we live and we learn. Question: we can cut this out if needs be, but I'm really intrigued. What is the because I've only dated one African man who was Egyptian.
Yeah.
So very different to like Nigerian, like Somali. What is the dynamic like between a Jamaican and a Nigerian?
I feel like
the cultures are quite similar.
A lot of people don't realize that Caribbean and African culture through and through is very similar.
Yeah.
We all derive from such bold kind of foundations. Like we're all very proud of who we are. Dami is not the first Nigerian I've dated, but for this length of time, he is. And
how long have you guys been together for? Like a year?
A year, yeah. Obviously, being his friend and dating him, he has a big personality.
Yeah.
And it's not, I don't know, it's not something that I'm used to in my...
It matches your energy, right?
Sometimes, yeah, but it's like, ooh. Sometimes I'm like, ooh. Was like I don't know how to explain it, but sometimes I just take the back seat because I feel like for me, through my own traumas, I can like just shut down. I don't know how to describe it, but like I'm bold and charismatic, but I shut down from time to time when I meet someone that is either equally or more bold than me, and I feel like Dami definitely matches my energy on a lot of things. Where I see a difference is obviously Jamaicans are a bit more. What's the word? A bit more wild, a bit more explicit. There's a very small fraction of us that are like classy, modest,
sophisticated,
and well spoken. There's very few of us
like that.
Whereas I believe that Nigerians are a bit more classy. They're a bit more like well spoken. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, everyone's got their little ratchet side, but
too right.
That side of them is a bit more prominent. Like and obviously they have such a much more visible culture. You'll attach marriage to them. You'll attach the clothes, like all that type of stuff, the food, all that type of stuff is very unique to them rather than Jamaicans. We've taken a lot from different cultures.
Yeah.
But
Do you have any Nigerian friends that are single?
Not off the top of my head, no.
Okay, all right, never mind. Moving on. Next. Okay, but before we move on, I just want to, because I think I really respect you, because I don't think there are many prominent black queer people that are talking on the shit that you're talking about, which is why I feel like but it's true though. Like, who can you list really in the UK?
No one.
Because I feel like, and obviously big up the black queer creators, but a lot of them are very comedy based. And if that's your brand, like, who's to take that away from you? Do you know what I mean?
A lot of content creators, no. In this realm, a lot of people deem being outspoken as problematic. And my outspokenness is how I've always been. So I've always been unfiltered, not as a content creator, as a person. I've always told my friends like it is. I've said when I don't like something, put my parents in their place. But I've been that type of person.
But I don't think a lot of it...
And that has transitioned into content creating. It's just it's just so happened to be what I do on social media as well, on my YouTube more specifically.
Yeah, but I don't think... Maybe it's because I don't agree with all of your views, but I respect them.
Yeah.
Which I think is...
What view do you not agree with?
I can't think off the top of my head, but there are some things you'll say, and I think, do you know what, I don't agree with it, but I respect it. But I don't think you can really cuss them for that. I think it's more where, like, oh, you're wrong, like, you don't know what you're chatting about, and especially when it's your own personal experience. What was the point that I was trying to make? But I think that's why I resonate with you, because my content is purely on experiences, culture, whereas a lot of the black people of colour creators in our space who are queer, it's very like comedic focus.
Honestly.
But big up them. Like, if it works, it works. Do you mean they're the ones who make big boy money? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but okay, I'm just gonna be so honest.
I have an editor. It's very good.
No, it's not. No, it's not that. For me, some people don't even see me as queer because I don't touch base on some of the topics that like my boyfriend touches on. Like, I don't do the stuff that he does. So a lot of the things that he gets opportunities to do or invited to, I don't get invited to. I don't know why, but it's just, I feel like people don't think that I embrace who I am. I just don't feel like I need to talk about it 24/7. If you look me up and if you want to find something out about me, type my name in and whatever the topic is, and you will likely find it. YouTube is amazing at attaching the correct words to certain videos. It's almost like a science, but it's got its own science behind it. Like, whatever the topic is that I'm talking about, type it in, you'll likely find it. A lot of I feel like a lot of the black queer comedy based content creators aren't necessarily comfortable with their sexuality yet.
I mean, that's
nobody's telling these individuals to come out or anything like that. All I'm saying is, I personally feel like those individuals do the exact same thing that I do, but I do it part-time, but I get stick for doing what they do part-time, if that makes any sense. So for example, because obviously I don't have a niche. I do topics, I do comedy, I do tutorial, I do it all. I do lifestyle, I do it all. So
your CV must be huge.
It's like, you could attach me to absolutely anything or anyone, but when I do what they do, the response is very different. It's, oh, you're doing too much. Oh, they don't see me as funny. I don't know if I don't give off funny. Comment down below if you don't think I'm funny. Or
I think you give off funny, but I don't think funny is your main thing.
Yes, it's not. I've got very like blunt, kind of just dry humor. I don't know how to describe it, but I'm funny. Like, I remember someone told me I wasn't funny. That hurt me.
That probably what's the word I can use?
They're not diverse.
They're not diverse enough in their humor
spectrum.
and their knowledge of comedic elements.
Yes.
Right. Okay. But anyway, so the question I was going to ask you is, as someone who's prominent in the Black queer space, in my opinion,
in your opinion,
in my opinion, on my channel, in my opinion, apologies if you don't agree, but that's on you, innit? What advice would you give to like fellow creatives, up and coming ones, or ones who want to? Let me reword that. What advice do you have for like people who are trying to get into the creative space?
Do what you enjoy. If a piece of content feels right to you whilst doing it and whilst sharing it on your platform, then that's all that matters. Mm-hmm. Forget about who's watching for now. Forget about who's watching, who's gonna like it. It starts with, do you like the content that you are creating? And if you don't, then back to the drawing board and we go again. But there's an audience for absolutely anything.
I always say this.
It does not matter what you are doing. There is an audience for it. So don't think that you have to jump on what's trending to get that instant amount of followers or them instant views, because in the long, what you want is a core audience. What you want is longevity. I want that when people hear my name, mix up Guh Deh. Guh Deh's got certain values. Guh Deh does his, do you get what I mean? He lives a certain lifestyle. He acts a certain way. He only goes to a certain type of thing. He likes a certain type of food. That's what I want when people think of my name. That's what I'm working towards. I want that when a supporter hears my name, they can list all the things that I enjoy and da-da-da-da. That's why I do the content that I do, and I share about myself. But I feel like if you are posting and you've got 1 million followers, and this is subject to the individual, but if you're posting and nobody can tell you like what your foundation is, or what truly something means to you, then what are you doing it for? But everyone's choices is different, because obviously I've met people that they just post like, for example, they just post skin routines, makeup, fashion, and you know absolutely nothing about them. And I'm just like,
can you appreciate that? Because some people, you're quite open, I would say, with a lot of things. But do you think also at the same time some people's brand is like they want to talk about certain routines, topics, whatnot, but however they may want to like detach themselves from actually having a personal element? Because I know a lot of people like that.
So when I started, that's what I wanted. And I found that, so when I started on YouTube, I was doing pranks, doing story times, doing thrown out there content that you could relate to in the moment. But what's next? What else can you tell me like about myself, or what can you teach me? Because I feel like,
I guess it's
you can learn a lot through. So it is, but you can learn a lot through social media. A lot of the personal content that I've created has allowed me to meet like-minded people that have gone through similar things to me. When I'm doing these stupid story times and stuff like that, that's just one event that nobody can relate to because it's a story time unique to you. But it's just like, and it's often very controversial. It's not meaningful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah, again, I want to create meaningful content because that just means something to me. And I'm sorry, when a brand comes, or when a TV production company comes and they want to put a budget behind me to create something amazing, my community will follow me. And I can't say the same for the people that just throw out things. Do you get what I mean? That's no shade, but it's the truth. It's the truth. How many content creators can say that they can stand in 5 different spaces and thrive at the same time? Not many people can. Some people are good at one thing, and that's just not what I'm chasing. I want to be everywhere.
I think it's very dependent on the individual.
Yes.
But I can appreciate everyone's take.
Yes.
Okay, so I did have other questions, but like I deleted them by accident. No, it's for a segment. Why do you look so shocked?
Because why did you delete them?
No, like by accident. You know, like when you're just going through shit, like delete.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how
you can't remember them.
I have an awful memory, but I didn't realize how like easy like notes can like pack up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've got like 500.
Honestly,
so I was just going like that, like delete, and then. So this is what I try to come up with quickly.
Notes is where my captions are.
Yeah.
When I need
my
to
plans for
all my
everything.
bills. When I need to remember stuff, that's why I put it in my notes.
Okay, so we have a segment called Side to Side. So the winning side to side. So like pick one or the other. So basically the way it works is I give you two things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is things the right word?
Do I have to explain why I picked that side?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, nice. And then I'll give mine, you give yours.
Okay.
I did have better ones, but they got deleted this morning, so we'll just have to go with the alternative.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Side to side. TikTok or Instagram?
Oh, yeah, that's a hard one. But I want to stay true to like where it all started, Instagram. I feel like Instagram, it's mainly the people that follow you that see your content first. And if they've been following you for years, like they've watched you just change, grow, evolve. So I've got people on my Instagram from when I first started.
Do you think though, like, because you started before it became like a real big thing for everyone to jump on the creative bandwagon?
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Do you think now though, because I think now in 2023 it'd be quite difficult to like build like a following on Instagram organically without it being redirected?
Yes,
because you two have been doing this for quite a while, right? I think probably the easiest social now to build a following relatively quickly is TikTok because it's still like being established, if that makes sense. But then for you, it would make more sense why you'd prefer Insta because that's like what helped with your debut in the first place.
I just feel like Instagram, there's more of a core audience there. I feel like TikTok, your content gets pushed to a new audience every time you post. Everyone is always on the For You page and not the following page.
Yes, so it doesn't like correlate.
So the people that are following you may see it after a few scrolls, or if they go back and check, what's Guh Deh up to? But people that actually follow you on Instagram, like people have my notifications on Instagram. You would think like the minute I go on live or the minute I post on my Instagram story, straight away, minute within minutes, hundreds, thousands of views. I'm just like, even Snapchat.
It's a hard life.
Yeah.
God forbid.
No, it's not hard. It's not hard. But it's just like, sometimes it's a bit overwhelming because like, why have you got post notifications on for me?
It's interesting because I find that like, obviously your audience is loads bigger than mine. But there are sometimes I've had situations where like, I'm in a bit of disbelief of what's happened. I've had it before where like someone on Grindr, before I deleted the app, God forbid, actually messaged me quoting one of my TikToks, and also it's a blank profile, so I don't know who this person is.
Yeah, it's scary.
And they were like, it was a video about like how black men don't go for black women.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't actually. It was about Grindr itself. It was actually about Grindr, the video. And this guy was, like Grindr is a Dyson, it's toxic. And I thought, that's really weird. That's the exact same thing that I said on my video. And obviously the guy was quoting it. No idea to this day who the man was. There was a point to that. But I think for me, because I'm obviously doing things a bit more later than like yourself, I think TikTok has definitely helped me. It's helped me connect with a lot of people like yourself. It's really weird actually, because at the event last week, a lot of people were like, this sounds awful. Like I think it was about 3 people. They're like, I know your face, but I can't think of what your name is. And I thought, TikTok.
Because a lot of people, they'll see something and it's memorable, but they don't
capture the name.
They don't follow. That's the annoying part. Sometimes they don't follow. They might save it or download it, share it to a friend, but they don't follow.
The worst one is when you can see that like hundreds of people have sent it to people.
Honestly.
And I'm thinking, so you couldn't give me a follow, but it's all right. We're growing.
Instagram.
Maybe I'll like start posting like my...
Definitely start posting. Instagram is trying to push it's TikTok algorithm style. So
yeah,
just
maybe
keep posting.
maybe if I do like my clips on my page, maybe that might work. Yeah. All right. New tactic. Okay, right. So host or attendee. So like an event, like a party.
I know. I'm trying to think.
Oh, I thought you were like,
it's good. It's good.
I thought like, what the fuck does he mean?
It's good. Host or attendee. It depends on what mood I'm in, but let's stay on the positive. If I'm in a good mood, host. If I'm in a bad mood, attendee. I just want to blend in the crowd, but definitely.
So
host.
dependent on the mood.
Yeah,
I love being.
I'm gonna stick with her. What star sign are you?
Aquarius.
Okay.
What are you?
Gemini.
That means what date's that?
June the 13th.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are your traits?
They say I'm moody. Moody's the top one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that has anything to do with star sign. I think that's just the shit that I've been through.
How do you feel about star sign compatibility?
I wouldn't know, but I think I'm told that Geminis attract a lot of Libras.
Okay.
I've had best friend Libras. My mum's a Libra, and I've dated a few Libras too.
Right. Yeah. Those
relationships have not always worked out the best. So
hence why I don't work with compatibility on star signs. I only use it to my advantage when I fancy someone.
Yeah.
Like I seem to like fall for Sagittarius quite a lot, and apparently they're quite compatible. So I'm like, oh no, he's a Sag. He must be for me. But obviously we're single, so quite clearly not. I'm gonna say I like hosting, but I like being able to end something when I want to end it. And obviously if like your attendees are enjoying it, it's not like you can be like, oh, sorry, you lot like time to dip, you know? But I think I like having the control.
Yeah.
But also I feel like when you're a host, if you have too many people, you can't really cater to everyone. Like if you have like a party, for example, you can't really have like a chat with everyone who's like 20 people, you know?
I kind of just let people do their thing.
I mean,
let people find their little corner where they want to be and let them do their thing.
Spot.
Check on them every now and again, but I'm not going to stay with you, but I'll check on you.
Yeah. I think I just like enjoy thinking if all my people are in my space, in my like home, whatnot, I like to be able to be like, oh, hey, how are you? What have you been up to? Well, obviously times 20 makes it a bit difficult, but in an ideal world, let's go with host. So this can be either on yourself or on like another person. So like facial hair, clean or shaven. Wait, that's the same thing, isn't it? Clean or shaven? That's not what I meant. Right, let me try again. Facial hair.
No, that's sides.
Clean or shaven. So I'm trying to word it as in like no facial hair.
Clean or beard?
Yeah.
Or hair or no hair?
I'm gonna stop drinking. Hair or no hair? Hair or no hair?
On myself, I'd say no hair because I get laser on my armpits and
well, not on my armpits, but yeah.
And I do a low shave on my beard, but on my partner, hair.
I'm the same.
But it's not. I'm not like hair is not icky. Like so, if my hair grows out and I haven't gotten laser or haven't shaved, I'm not gonna be like I'm a werewolf. But it's just I just prefer it because it's just what it is for me. But my partner can have hair.
How do you find laser? Because I'm getting it done on my like, bearded area.
It's very stressful, but stressful in the sense where you want instant results, but you just have to be patient.
It's long-winded.
Yeah, you have to be patient. But for me, it doesn't hurt.
Do you get marks or anything? Because I get like loads of like pussy spots on my face, and obviously they're like don't pop it because you will.
But you're quite early on though. How many sessions have you done?
Quite a few.
If you've done less than 5, you're still quite in the early stage.
It's more than 5.
Okay, babe. That means you got some the black that's the black genes.
It's the hair. Well, no, that's the thing. I feel like as black guys, we're more like what's the word?
Our hair's quite
it's curly.
Coarse. Yeah,
it grows into the skin, which is why I had to get it done in the first place because it won't naturally pop out. You know.
It's difficult. So I get underneath my chin, and it's just a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
There's this really good cream that I'm going to recommend to you when I find it because this guy sent it to me and it is pretty good. It feels like I don't know how to describe it, but like you have like
Vicks, Nicks. Is it Nicks?
What's the term called? No, like a bad breakout. But then afterwards, it looks really good.
Okay,
I'll find it and send it to you. Okay, so the last one. So like scenario, say you're on a date, like going out and about for it, or like at your own place or at their own place.
Out and about always, because I just feel like, why are we in your house?
Dessert.
No.
To be fair,
I did obviously being in the closet. I did a lot of that, and I thought again, you don't get to know these people.
No, 100%.
Do you get what I mean? So no, like
I feel no. It is definitely an L when someone from the jump has said to you, "Oh, like let's go to the yard." So like my I don't know if he watches that show. I probably shouldn't say, but it is what it is. So my DL friend is always very much like, oh, like my yard is free. I'm like, oh no, like, there's a restaurant nearby. We're good. He's like, no, like, and like, I think that's kind of like made me kind of like raise the standard a bit. Because you want to be wined and dined.
But it's not safe as well. It's not safe. You're bringing like just some random stranger to your address.
I mean, I know
after a few text messages.
I mean, I know. I mean, in my scenario, I know who this people are. I'm not someone to be like, oh, user 24703.
I know, but I'm saying in general, like there's so. Oh my god, there's so many people that I've heard that have invited these strangers over, and then something goes wrong. It's not good. It's not safe.
Have you seen the documentary on it? Like the Grinder Killer? It was in. Have you seen it? It's meant to be really good. Yeah.
No,
where
was
a documentary or something?
It's on BBC, I believe.
Did he chop the body into pieces?
Oh, something like that.
What?
No, but it was like it wasn't taken seriously because the police were basically like homophobic, and they were like, oh, it's probably because you were on too many drugs that the dead bodies.
It's terrible.
This is why I say to all my friends, stay away from the DL man. It doesn't end well.
It's not.
But there's a difference between like DL and discreet, though.
No, date somebody that their family knows their sexuality. Yeah, even if they don't approve, they know.
But do you not think there's a difference between being like DL and being
no?
Interesting, because my take is, I think you can.
I just don't agree with that statement.
That's all right. We can agree to disagree.
Me? What, DL and discreet?
No, you said about how you have to only date someone that their parents know about.
Yes.
Also, I feel like for a lot of people, it's not safe.
I'm not saying that your parents have to accept you. I'm just saying your foundation knows about your sexuality.
Yeah, but not everyone has the luxury to come out.
100%.
And not people, especially black people that come from ethnic background.
Yeah, religious background, strong culture.
I'm Nigerians. I know, like in my country, there's a huge gay community, but no one is gonna come out because they can't. Because
no.
Do you know
wait.
Can
I just say something? We're talking. Let's just put it out on the table.
Right.
We're talking about people that are fortunate enough to live in the Western world that can date openly. That's who I'm speaking about specifically.
Do you know what I thought was really interesting? This is completely random. I'm so sorry. You did a video. I don't know when it was, and it was about when you were in Canada, and I just thought that was really interesting. I just wanted to let you know. Yeah, because your auntie's in it, and you were like, you had to like meet this guy like on the down low, right?
I did on down low.
Yeah,
but I wasn't meant to do it, and I was trying to become straight because of the pressure from my family.
Mm-hmm.
And I already came out. And then when I came out, I was trying to go back in for the acceptance of my family. Yeah. And got caught while I was going back in. I
feel like it's really important to remember that it's not safe for a lot of people. Like the conversion therapy in the UK is still like happening.
It's not safe.
Do you know what I mean? Like I actually know someone who's gone through conversion therapy.
Oh wow.
Do you know what I mean?
I stand in believing that.
And I respect your opinion.
People should know about your sexuality.
I think if it works for the couple, like for example, if it's two,
it will never work. I'm sorry, it will never.
Not enough future, but if it works for them,
it will never work.
Because obviously,
it will never work. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Go on.
It will never work because you will always be limited to doing certain things. There's always a shelf,
a barrier
on the how far you guys can go in your relationship. I'm sorry, and someone that is discreet in the closet, there's things that they're not going to be willing to do because they've not necessarily accepted who they are. Because it's about, in my opinion, even being in a closet is also a part of not accepting who you are. That's just my opinion.
But do you not think that certain circumstances can be a reason as to why they can't.
Not living in the UK. Okay. Not living in the United States.
I would not have come out if I didn't come to this country.
Are you born in Nigeria?
No, I was born in London.
Okay.
But I lived with my family in America.
Right.
They raised me. I only came out because I left home.
Yeah.
If I still lived at home,
you wouldn't.
I would never.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to come out so bad, but I couldn't come out because.
And but can I just ask you something?
I know. I just knew that as soon as I came to London, I was like, yes, because they're not there. I can come out because I can escape.
What's it like in Nigeria?
It's terrible.
Yes, terrible. Yes,
I don't really have the knowledge because
Jamaica's bad as well.
It's illegal to be gay. That's just
right. Cool.
As in, if
Jamaica's
you are
the same.
Gay and you get caught in an act of being gay,
yeah,
you're gonna spend 10 years in prison.
God forbid.
That's a law, meaning that you go to jail.
How I look at it, is if you there was something you just said. If you were to never come out, yeah, and then what?
If I get caught, then I get caught. When I was at home, there was many times I got caught.
You also have those men who are like in their 50s, 60s.
No, but what I'm saying is, how do you, in dating someone that is discreet or DL, because I feel like they're both the same, it means that you still have to date women publicly. You cannot appear to the public as single for the rest of your life. That makes absolutely no sense.
Could be
no, you cannot.
Bachelor.
No, you can't. Come on.
I would have said, if I would live in America, I would have just told my mom that I've not found a girlfriend.
Yeah.
But I would have just been doing my thing on the.
And your partner should accept that.
I wouldn't have been there. I don't know.
No, but should a partner accept
Obviously,
that?
it's not the
that
house.
is
it's
crazy.
You're going to find someone else that's going to understand that. I would end up finding someone in my shoes.
Maybe you could have two really masked DLs.
No, that's toxic. This is toxic.
Who have the same circumstances, and then they're both very happy and comfortable.
Jordan,
I'm not saying it's acceptable. I'm not saying
no, neither. I don't think it's neither.
It's not what I want to say, but it's the reality of the situation.
There's no reality,
babe.
Mean?
That's just the truth. This is what's going on, and it's always going to happen over and over again because people look bad at.
I know. Yeah. I had a friend, and we was on the phone once, and he was like, "Oh, this girl's coming over." No, he said this girl just left, and was telling me about his escapades with a girl,
yeah.
And then I was like, "But what happened to a guy that he was doing something with the day before?" And I'm not saying obviously bisexuality is real; it's a real thing, and yes, you can date both, but you're dating both and neither know that you date both.
Yeah.
So to one, you're gay, and to one, you're straight. No.
It's kind of like, what's the term?
That is wrong.
Like
and again, it's not safe as well. No. It's not safe, sorry. And that might sound... You might think, oh, you're one to talk. I only just came out a couple of years ago. Let me tell you something. From when I started dating men, every single one of my friends knew. It was my best friend that introduced me to a boy, which started the whole me figuring out if I like boys or not. It was my best friend that knew. It took...
Yeah, but what if you haven't got a best friend that's as supportive as yours?
I wouldn't say she was supportive.
But didn't you just say she was the one that helped you meet this guy?
Yeah, but she was curious. It was out of her curiosity.
That happened to you, how would you awaken yourself?
What's the gate?
I was on gay chat rooms, on these forums. So I was still.
Knew then.
Huh?
You already knew.
Yeah, I was figuring it out.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, from the minute I started stepping out of my home, a certain circle knew about my sexuality, and then within a matter of months, my whole family knew. Out of my control, but what could I do? There wasn't a point where I went, do you know what? I'm gonna be straight again. Obviously, some people don't have that opportunity because they're still under their parents' roof, but I was fortunate enough to live in my truth to a certain extent,
right?
Or what was deemed digestible for my family that I was around.
So to conclude, you would rather go on a date outside than out.
Yes. Outside.
What's your dream date? Like ideal date?
I don't have an ideal date, but I love bowling. Love bowling.
That's interesting.
I love activities. I love like, I don't know, like rock climbing, things where we're actually doing something.
Yeah, I don't.
Because I feel like we'll just be twiddling our thumbs. Because you never, when dating, you never know. You don't know like the icebreaker. So put yourself in a situation where you're not required to just talk the whole way through. Yeah. It's similar to a phone call. Sometimes even with our friends these days, we're on the phone and we're not talking about nothing. We're just there in silence because there's nothing to talk about. Do you get what I mean? So it depends. But yeah, I definitely say bowling. Food, I do like food, but food is not my go-to because I'm just like, you sit down for, I can box off a plate in 10, 15 minutes, okay? And then we're sitting there, drinking for the rest of the duration of the day.
The only thing that I'm really anti is cinema.
Yeah. Then
unless you're established. If you're established, it's all right. But like
if it's not going well and you're sat next to this person for 2.5 hours.
Too right.
I'm not mad at cinema, but I just can't watch a film from the screen so far away. I just can't. I just would rather watch it on my laptop.
And it's so overpriced as well.
Go see Barbie.
I did, but obviously that was work related. But like, I'm not rushing to go to a premiere or rushing to go to the cinema to watch a film. I'll watch it bootleg. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3 movies is the plug.
It's expensive, to be fair. It was like nearly like 13 quid to go see Barbie.
What did you think of it?
I feel like for people that watch this that may be interested, I should be tame. I was really underwhelmed.
Why?
Because I just feel like they were trying so hard to show off their budget in a lot of parts that it didn't really like.
Budget? What budget? What, the celebrity appearances?
Yeah, and I just think it was quite unnecessary. I think like surely there should be more focus on other characters. But I love America Ferrera's character. Right? So what was her name?
Ugly Betty.
Yeah. And I think there should have been like more focus on her. Like there was no need to see Dua Lipa and John Cena.
No, I think it's about time that a female directed film has a massive budget. You know what I mean? I know, and
I love the concept, and I love that it was female focused and directed by a woman, but I just wanted more. But I can appreciate the space and the comfort that it's made for women. Do you know what I mean? I'm not one of those guys who's like, oh, I didn't get it. No, I completely understood it. I just was expecting more.
I enjoyed the film from her going back to Barbie Land. Right. From that part onwards. Okay. I feel like for the first 10, 15 minutes, we didn't need to know what Barbie is or what Barbie stands for. Because
I love the dance scene.
I would have thought that a lot of us knew that Barbie was like this entrepreneur, like all shapes and sizes. I would have thought a lot of people knew that. But my only criticism about the film was the what do you call it? The transition between Barbie and the real world. Like, it just didn't make sense. Like how? Like, can I walk on a lane and get to Barbie Land? I know it's not a real film, but I just felt like they could have done, I don't know what they could have done. It could have been a portal or something, but just this road and then this, it just was so it was so confusing. I just didn't get it. And then anyone could just, like, the people that were in Mattel could just go there. How? It's just that I just didn't understand that bit, but loved the monologue at the end. Loved the message behind it, because I feel like the film industry is so like action heavy, it's so racism heavy, it's so black this, black that, white this, white that heavy. It's so,
give us something fun.
You get what I mean? Give us something about women. Give us something about women. There's not many, because there was that film. What was the film about? What was the film that Rihanna was in?
Oh, Ocean's 8.
Yeah, like, there's not many films like that. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. So it's just like, I'm not mad at it. I wouldn't watch it again, but I'm not mad at it.
This is it, like, but then there are quite a lot. You can do the pouring, because I feel like I always get it wrong. There are a lot of films and shows I feel like they're only like a one watch type of thing, you know?
It will definitely be memorable. My little cousin is actually in the intro of it, you know? She's one of the black girls holding a Barbie.
Oh, wicked! Love that.
Yeah.
Is she an actress or just like an extra?
I think she's going into that. I'm not close with her, but obviously I know she's my cousin.
Was it filmed in London?
I didn't ask, babe. I don't know that depth into it, but I'm just like, oh, isn't that my...
Love that for her, though. Okay, so we're going to move on to dilemmas. So some of these are just interesting.
Are they long?
Say again?
Are they long? Or you can add photos to ask me questions now, no? Can't you?
I use the app called...
Oh, I have a dilemma, by the way, but I'm like, I didn't give it to you.
No, sorry, we got a few. We have to end in 20 minutes anyway, I think. It's called NGL.
Okay.
It's free. That was my take on it. Okay, so basically we just give our takes, I guess. Pretty simple. Okay. Aunties keep trying to set me up with their crusty, dusty nephews and sons. I'm tired of them assuming that I'd want them / want to be with men. How do I make this stop?
Come out.
Do you think that's what it means?
Well, that clearly...
Could it not be... Okay, maybe.
Like, I'm not... Sorry, I don't have a paragraph to give you. Come out. But obviously, I guess... Whatever the culture is that you're from, you can't, trust me, coming out nips all of that shit in the bud, you know? The minute I came out, nobody talks about my sexuality, who I'm dating, if I got a hickey, nothing.
Yeah.
I do not get absolutely, even before I met my boyfriend, I didn't get any questions or inquiries about my relationship status the minute I came out. When obviously I was up and coming and I'm trying to give it all.
Yeah.
Every day, if it wasn't a question about my sexuality, it was, ooh, like, you're looking good. It was just always someone was trying to make their advances at me, male and female. It was just too much. But yeah.
I want to say, how do I make this stop?
It's not going to stop. It's not. And aunties and uncles give their unsolicited opinions anyway. So what can you do? I feel like obviously...
Pass them back.
I'm going to assume this... Well, right, let's just...
I have no gender.
Let's say this person's from an African background. I feel like a lot of Africans tend to have a lot more respect for their elders. So they are more reserved in biting back or being rebellious.
Right.
Whereas people from the Caribbean, not me. What opinion? Excuse me? No thanks. Keep it to yourself.
I'm going to say I think you should tell them that you're not interested persistently. Coming out may not be an option. But hey, we already spoke about that. Let's move. Okay. So basically, I live with my ex and he constantly hooks up with men almost daily, including bringing them to the house. Now he is starting to be off with me completely unprovoked and the vibes are bad. We still share the same bed and everything, and it's all getting so toxic. What do I do? You've made 2 mistakes here. 1, you live with your ex, and 2, you share a bed. Like, it's giving dumb times 2.
What the hell? That is crazy. Move out. What do you got? Do you not want a big paragraph? Go leave the yard. Sorry.
I just don't understand.
Leave.
Even sleep on your mum's floor if you have to. Like, surely, I think living with your ex is dumb enough, but to be sharing the same bed when my man's probably been beaten earlier on, no.
That's crazy.
Let's move. You ready? My dilemma is, I like one boy very much, but my sex drive is so high I can't say no to others.
You need to look deep within yourself and find other hobbies, because
I truly
addiction to sex is a real thing. And yeah.
I truly believe that some people are just meant to be single for those purposes. What's polyamorous?
More than one relationship.
So one of my guests on here.
That's not what the question is.
He said that they like their boyfriend a lot.
No, they like a boy. They haven't got a boy.
But it is an option.
Yeah.
It is an option.
No.
It's an option.
Do you know there was
he could discuss that with his partner and they both are.
There was a very beautiful black
being
man
promiscuous
that was sat at this side of the table. That was in poly, and I had to say no for legal purposes.
I think a relationship works a lot in the gay community.
It's massive in London. Like I've met quite a. I just feel like when I have my person, you're my person through and through, one-on-one. But I can respect it. But no, if it works, it works. It's just not something that I want to cater for. And like I remember someone who I was talking to who was in one, and I was like, well, how does that dynamic work? Because this person lived with their boyfriend. So I was like, well, how does it work then? Like when it comes to arrangements? And it'd be very much like, oh, I'll see you in the morning. I've met someone out. I'm going to theirs. Or can you come back in an hour or two because someone's coming?
That. If you're going to do it, you should
do it together. The bed sheets that you would also be sharing with your boyfriend. Yeah. No.
It shouldn't be like, oh, you go away.
That's not a relationship. That's not a That's just a setup.
I agree. I wouldn't do it, but it's either.
And I don't think, and the way they've written that, the way they've written that, my sex drive is so high, I just can't say no to others. That is not you.
What I would say is first go and get help, because having a high sex drive to that point is actually dangerous for you, because you would pretty much be in some situation that could hurt you. Yeah. But
that's like the grinder thing, yeah.
It can be dangerous, so you need to just mentally like go to therapy, and or just find a way to control yourself. But then secondly, as well, if you know that you can't stay faithful to someone because you want to have multiple relationships, have that conversation with that guy.
Yeah, but could you not be that person that that is like a really sexual person, but could just be really, because what if you met someone and you're really sexual, but they match that energy and you can just go crazy together?
But the thing with gay people is that unfortunately one person is not enough. That's just the truth for most people. That you could be Beyonce or you could be Chris Brown. They want more.
He's a beautiful man.
I know, they want more. So
no, he's not.
I mean, quite clearly our types are different.
Chris Brown's not beautiful.
Not in my opinion, no.
He's a beautiful man. Obviously, horrible person, horrible behaviour, but
he's quite attractive.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to turn it down personally, but if he was a well-behaved person, that was on my team. But he's not a well-behaved person, and he's also not on my team. So we move. Have you ever seen him live? Very good, very good. Before the shit happened, obviously.
No, I wouldn't.
Before the shit happened, obviously. Okay, there's two more, but one doesn't really make sense, so I don't know if we can really help this person. Oh, actually, no, there's three more, sorry. Okay. If it's your birthday, whilst you're on holiday with a friend, is it unreasonable to spend the day doing the activities that you want to do? I don't think so. It's your day.
Yeah.
So, like, it's your birthday whilst on holiday with a friend. Is it unreasonable to spend the day doing the activities that you want to do?
No. It's your birthday.
Yeah, I feel like your birthday is your day, and like anyone who cares for you should understand that you can do it. Yeah, my birthday is my day to be a fucking brat. I don't care. Do you know what I mean? Any other day, let's compromise. But like,
no, because it's your birthday and you're gonna do something on holiday, but everyone is gonna have a good time.
And you would like to think that, like, surely as someone who cares about someone whose birthday it is, you would want to do what suits them best.
Listen,
do you not think?
I just feel like a lot of us don't know the true definition of being a friend. Because to be asking that type of question, what kind of friendship is that? What kind of relationship is that?
I just read the comments. I couldn't tell.
Sorry.
I don't know if there's any point reading this one because it's just really vague.
No. We don't play. You can say it, go on.
Help. I want to fuck my boss.
If you lot saw the Lizzo situation, then you would know we don't play where we work, okay?
Did she get with her boss?
No, but there was a lot of going on.
Hasn't she got a man?
Who?
Lizzo.
So what does that mean?
I told you I'm a naive person. I
don't think she done anything with her employees. I feel like she took them to very inappropriate places.
Yes, I've read that.
And obviously it's all alleged, but again, don't play where you work, because next minute now you're taking out a lawsuit on your boss. You never know. People are manipulative, you know. I'm not saying that what happened to these girls didn't happen. I'm just saying that both events can equally happen in a scenario like that.
Yeah.
You can be taken advantage of on both sides.
I can't tell if this one's legit. Oh, God forbid. People are horrible. This must be a straight man, surely. Okay. Chatting to this girl, but she's built like a centre back. I don't even know if I want to read the rest of it, to be honest.
Chatting to this girl, but she's built like a centre back. Do I hit it or should I stick her in the paint? It's just...
At least anonymous, isn't it? You know, do they have the...
You can pay to see who it is, but I'm not going to pay for it, obviously.
Really? Oh God, that's not...
Because I'd have to find them and cuss them.
Leave them alone.
She deserves better.
Leave them alone. That's all I have to say. Like, what?
I feel like straight men just never fail to amaze me. Do you understand? So it's just... Somehow I've become really fortunate to find a really healthy circle of straight men. And a lot of my queer friends, how have you managed that? I was like, fuck knows, but it's a flex for sure. You know? But, yeah. Leave the poor girl alone.
I was going to say, I'm fortunate enough to be one of those queers that are like a bit quite knowledgeable.
In what sense?
In all social aspects. Like, I don't just, I'm not a victim. I'm not like internally broken.
Right.
I'm not like, do you get what I mean?
You don't
like, there's not a space that I could experience and just think, oh, why me? I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say, but...
Are you saying you don't dwell on things? I don't know how you're...
I don't take things personal.
That's a good mentality to have, though.
I don't take a lot of things... Well, I do, but just not things in regards to my sexuality.
Yeah. Fair.
I feel like I feel like obviously because in the past I've dated people that are a lot older than me as well. I've been quite fortunate enough to be educated on like...
Do you think that's a healthy dynamic?
And,
Do you think that's a healthy dynamic?
No. It will never.
But does it become? Because I had this debate with someone, and my friend was saying to me, it differs on when you reach a certain age.
No, it's
but
not.
You
good.
Still don't think it does?
No, never.
What about like 40 and 60?
Yes and no, because a 40-year-old is still quite young, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm 10 years away from 40. Well, I'm 11 years away from 40.
Oh, God forbid.
How major is my life going to change in the next 10 years? I honestly don't know. But let's just say it doesn't change and I'm doing what I'm doing right now at 40 and I'm going to go and date a 60-year-old. Like, there's going to be a very...
But who's to say who's to say like a 60-year-old wouldn't have the same mindset?
They don't. They just don't. Something changes in the psyche, but at that age...
We're going to have this conversation again when you're 40 and 60. So if we rewind back, how do you feel now? Yeah. What's your take?
Yeah, but I just feel like always, if you're more experienced socially or in age, like, you're always going to have an upper hand than that less experienced person. And don't get me wrong, you can learn a lot faster, but it's just is it that deep to learn
and is it
fast?
And is it appropriate? Yeah.
So yeah.
Right, on that note, we're going to end it. Thank you very, very much. This feels very surreal.
Why?
Because like I've liked you for quite a while. I think you're really cool. And like my friends were getting so annoyed with me. They were like, just message him. I think it was like, because this was arranged quite quickly, to be fair. It's not usually that easy with people, but you were just like, just give me a day and a time and I'm good. And but my friends were getting so annoyed. They were like, just message him. And yeah, thank you for your participation.
What did your friends think when you wanted to speak? Have your friends like looked me up or?
I have a friend that absolutely adores you and it was her idea.
Hey friend.
Yeah. I have a friend that absolutely adores you and it was her idea. And a couple of people were just like, okay, cool.
Okay.
So take from that what you will.
Well, yeah, it's good that you took the leap. You never know. Just all you gotta do is ask. And I hope that you get a lot more yeses from people that you like.
Yeah,
watch and admire.
Fingers crossed, eh? What are your socials, please, for those of you that live under a rock and don't know who this wonderful guest is?
My socials are Guh Deh GUHDEHPHILLIP on every platform.
Across the board. Sweet. Right, we're out. For anyone watching or listening, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I feel like I really get annoyed with people that watch it, and I think, come on, you've made it to the end. Just like the video. Maybe not subscribe. Subscribing is quite generous. I'll allow that, but like, just give it a like and a 5-star rating on Spotify, please. All right, sweet. We are done, and we are out.
That was good.
Thank you very much.
That was good.
This is quick.
Yeah, I feel like it went quick.
It was a good conversation.
Yeah.